everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. Today we are going to be reviewing Rose Ink. For full transparency, I did receive these in PR. I didn't purchase them myself, but all opinions are my own. They don't know I'm doing this video. It's not sponsored. Okay, disclaimer over. I'm so excited about this brand. I adore Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. I think she is so elegant and so chic and beautiful. And when she launched Rose Ink as a platform, so her YouTube channel, the online kind of blog as well, and her Instagram, I followed all of them immediately, and I love it. When I knew that they were actually releasing products, I was blown away, and I'm so excited. I have most of the range here in front of me. There's not a full face. There's definitely a lot of categories that she is still missing, but I'm hoping that they will release more products soon, because I'm really impressed with a lot of what I've tried already. These are not going to be first impressions. I have used them for about a week now, so I feel fairly familiar with the formula, and I definitely know whether I like them or not. So do make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy at any point, and subscribe if you're not already, and let's jump into it. The sun is in and out, it's going crazy right now, so I've tried to turn the brightness up and hopefully that will be okay. So the first product that I'm going to go in with is the Radiant Reveal Brightening Serum. So this retails for £53, so not cheap. So this claims to hydrate and rejuvenate the skin, works to boost radiance and luminosity, which is obviously what we all want. So I typically have dry skin, quite dull as well, especially in the winter. So the sound of this does really appeal to me. I've only used it a couple of times. Kind of see the texture. Pretty light. So I'm just gonna put this over my skin. You obviously need to use it over a consistent period of time in order to come to a conclusion. But it does feel nice. It does obviously make my skin look nice and dewy. It's a nice serum. Would I pay £53 for it? Probably not. I have other serums which are less expensive, which probably do a similar job and leave my skin with a similar finish. So I don't think this is essential. I think the makeup is definitely the standout from the brand, so I'd probably pass on this. So I'm just going to use a bit of moisturiser just over the top of that, just to make sure my skin is nice and prepped for makeup. This is the Murad Water Charge Gel Cream, which is really nice. It has a beautiful texture. Focus. Really nice and lightweight. It's more of a gel formula, so I find it sits really nicely underneath makeup, but it also does a really good job at hydrating. So I'm going to do my foundation and primer as well, and then we will come back and use the concealer. Everything else that I'm using will be listed in the description box below. I'm not going to run through those. I'm just going to do it off camera, and then we'll come back and test the Rose Ink products. I haven't gone for a super heavy base because overall these products are quite light, and I think are more geared towards a minimal makeup look. Taking inspiration from Rosie and the looks that she's done herself, definitely is more of a kind of minimal makeup vibe, but quite editorial as well, because the blushes and lip colours are quite bright, so you can get a really nice, bold, chic, editorial look, which I really like. So moving on to the concealer, where's my information. So this is the Luminous Soft Light Hydrating Concealer. This retails for £23, which I think is quite a fair price. I think most kind of medium to high-end brands are probably priced around a similar, you know, the kind of £20 mark. So I don't think that's too outrageous. The packaging is really beautiful. It's got this really lovely arch lid, and it's just your kind of classic doe foot. The doe foot is actually quite big on this, I will say. Come on, little thing, there we go. And it does pick up quite a lot of product. However, I do find with this concealer, even if I feel like I'm over applying it, somehow it just blends really beautifully, and it never looks heavy, it never looks cakey, in my opinion. I know I've had some people say that this does look heavy under the eyes. I do have quite dry skin. Under my eyes, it can get quite crepey quite quickly. That is a tongue twister. But I don't find that with this. I really like it, and like I said, even if I feel like I'm over applying it, it does just blend really beautifully. This is the shade LX30. So I'm just gonna go in the inner corner and then the outer corner of my eye. I'm going to take a little bit on the chin just so you can see how it looks on the face as well. I'm not going to do my nose because my nose is wonky anyway and I don't make it worse. And I'm just going to take my Real Technique sponge to blend this in. I do definitely think it does give a nice, soft, luminous finish, just like it describes. I do really like this concealer. I think if you have drier under eyes, I do think it's nice. I do think it's hydrating enough. And I definitely don't think it looks cakey. The shade does work really well for me as a brightening shade. If I wanted to cover blemishes or anything like that, I would probably opt for maybe one shade darker than this, but under my eyes and kind of through the centre of my face, I do think it looks really nice. So I'm just going to powder that down. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder, as always, and just... I'm only going to go around my eyes because we do have some cream products to use on the cheeks. So I'm going to do some bronzer and then we'll come back and test the blush. Okay, bit of bronzer, bit of life back into the face. Now the blush. Again, I mean, what stunning packaging. You can't even see, it's too overexposed. I really love the packaging. Again, you've got the kind of oval shape. And then, oh my god, mine looks already quite disgusting. You've got a nice mirror, nothing too crazy. Nice mirror, and then the product in the pan. The thing I really like about this is you can buy the compact and then you can actually pop out the shade if it's going to focus. There we go. So you can actually pop out the blush and then refill it with whatever shade you like. So you only have to buy the compact once, and then you can obviously buy the blushes at a cheaper price and just replace them, which I think is really good. And it's a really good kind of sustainable option. So the shade I have here is Azalea. This is a really nice kind of berry pink shade. It looks quite intense in the pan. If you just use a light hand, you can sheer it out really nicely. And I would say this is quite a kind of cream to powder formula. So I'm going to take a dense brush because I find this, so far anyway, is the best way to apply it, is with this kind of like a dense cheek brush. So I'm going to go in, just pick a little bit up and then just put on. So I really didn't use that much at all then, but that just gives you a nice starting point. If you're quite new to cream products, I think this formula would be really nice because you can build it up, but it does just blend effortlessly. It's really good. I do think that this is a really good formula because it does dry down a little bit. It doesn't stay super tacky on the face, and I love this shade. I'm going to build it up a bit more because I do want a little bit more of a kind of editorial look, a little bit over the nose, never hurt no one. And yeah, you can see I've used a few layers now, but it still just looks really nice and natural. I'm just going to go over with my beauty blender just to kind of soften out those edges. Always does look a little bit washed out anyway on camera, but the vibe is there, So that is Azalea on the cheeks. Because this is more of that cream to powder formula, it will last a lot longer on the cheeks as well, because it's not going to transfer. You know, if you're kind of touching your face a lot throughout the day, it's not going to pick up any product. So I really like these, and it's just so bloody chic, isn't it? I mean, gorgeous. Yeah, I'm going to skip highlighted today because the blush is giving me quite a nice glow anyway, as you can see. Oh, how much do the blushes retail for? So the blushes retail for £23, and then you can buy the refills for £14. I think £23 is fine, and then it's a bonus that you can buy a refill for £14. I think that's really great. And there's a lot of really beautiful shades to choose from as well, and they go quite deep, so if you do have medium to deep skin tones, I think there'll be some beautiful options as well. Next up I have the brow gel. This retails for £19.50. Again, really nice packaging. Are we surprised? No, we're not. Quite a big brush actually for a brow gel. So I'm going to compare it to, so just for kind of comparison, this is Gimme Brow and this is the Rose Ink brush. So you can see it's a lot bigger, it's a lot fluffier. So I have the clear brow gel here, and the one thing I will say is if you buy one of the tinted versions, I think the brush is the same, and it's quite a large brush. So it's going to be quite difficult to get, you can't even see, it's going to be quite difficult to get a precise application if you're using quite a big brush like this to deposit colour. For the clear one, I think it's fine, it's not really that big of a deal. So it does give your brows a really nice fluffy look, but it doesn't really hold them in place as long as some other brow gels I've used. So if you're looking for a brow gel that's really gonna hold and kind of stick your brow hairs in place, I would honestly use something like the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. This has incredible hold. It is literally like glue. Whereas this one, it's a bit softer through the brows. It doesn't leave any kind of white residue or anything like that, but I just find it doesn't really hold the brows in place as well as other gels that I've tried. But it does make your brows look really fluffy. So if you like that look, then I think this is nice, and perhaps the tinted versions, they might be formulated slightly differently, so I can't really comment on those or if they hold well. But yeah, the clear version is fine, it makes your brows look nice, but it just doesn't hold them in place for the whole day. I'm going to keep the eyes quite natural, I think, today. Just again, because Rosie's looks normally that she does, it's kind of all about the skin and about the pop of colour on the cheeks and the lips as well. Rose Ink I do think is very well thought out. Rosie obviously launched the platform Rose Ink, which kind of consisted of a online website and a YouTube channel and obviously Instagram and things like that, so that she could kind of share her knowledge of the beauty industry and sitting in the makeup chair day in day out, you know, when she was modelling and stuff like that. And then obviously it turned into something bigger, and now she has her own range of products. Yeah, I think that in terms of celebrity makeup lines, this for me sits in the same category as Victoria Beckham Beauty, Fenty Beauty, Rare Beauty, because they all just feel a lot more thought out. You know, the packaging is a bit different, a bit more innovative, you know, and you can tell that they haven't just picked something off of a shelf and slapped their name on it. It's a bit more thought out, a bit more mindful, and they've genuinely been part of the process. So I do really, really like that. Yeah, I think that her launches will continue to do well. So lastly, we have the lip product. So I have the shade Still, which is quite a deep colour. I don't always typically go for shades like this. It's quite bright. It's quite kind of deep, bold, berry, almost red, but it's definitely more pinky than that. Again, the packaging obviously is really, really nice, and you've got the colour on the bottom, so you can kind of see what the shade is. So I'm just going to line my lips with a bit of Super Size Me by Charlotte Tilbury, because I think this will be quite a nice match because this is a bit darker. I've literally sharpened this, put them into its life, and it might kill me. I just filled in my lips with a bit of lip liner, and then we're going to go in with this colour. Like I said, it's quite bright. Definitely quite bright. You can be a bit more precise because it is more of a kind of pen style or crayon style, I guess. I do wish they were a bit more hydrating. Definitely still a really nice shade. It's coming up a lot more red on camera. I do like that you can kind of go in and line the lips again, just to kind of make it a bit sharper. So that's the lipstick. I think if I had this in a lighter shade, I would much prefer it. It's a bit too bright for me for day to day, but I do think it's really, really nice. The formula, I wish it was a bit more hydrating. It's kind of on the dry side, not too bad, but I would definitely wear a good lip balm underneath, especially if you're going for one of these deeper shades, which will kind of enhance your lip texture a little bit more, but perhaps the nude shades are a bit more forgiving. The concealer and the blush are definitely the two products I would recommend the most. I think the cream blush is just absolutely beautiful. One of the best cream blush formulas that I've personally tried. It's not too liquidy, it's not too stiff either, so it is easy to blend, easy. Oh, you can also use this on the lips as well. Let's remove this and let's put this on the lips. Okay, let's use Azalea on the lips as well. We might get quite nice monochromatic colour. Prefer that than the other colour. It's a bit more everyday. That's Azalea on the lips as well. I think it looks nice actually. That's definitely more my speed. So yeah, I really like this, would definitely recommend and I'm sure the other shades are just as beautiful as this one. The concealer as well, I really like and would recommend. If you have dry under eyes, I think this would be absolutely fine. I don't think you'd have a problem with this. I find it to be quite hydrating, and it's just a really nice lightweight formula that does blend really beautifully over the skin. So yeah, really like this. It does pick up a lot of product, but like I said, it just blends so easily that I don't find I've ever over applied. Products that I probably wouldn't repurchase, or it may not be incorporating into my everyday routine. The serum, I just think this is a little bit too expensive, and I do have other serums from other skincare brands which are a lot more affordable. It does make your skin look nice, and I think it's a good prep step before makeup, but I think it's just a bit too expensive. Also, the brow gel, I think it's nice, I just wish it had a bit more hold. The brush is really good at giving you a nice kind of fluffy effect, but again, it just doesn't have the hold for me. So yeah, maybe I'll pick up one of the tinted ones and see if that is any different. But if you're looking for a good clear brow gel that's gonna hold the brows in place, that one just fell a bit short for me. And the lip crayons, I don't think these are terrible. I think the shade just isn't something that I would typically reach for day to day. So maybe that's kind of impacting my opinion here and why I'm maybe not a huge fan. But I think maybe if I tried a couple of the more nude everyday shades, I might feel a bit differently, and it might be a really nice effortless product that you can just throw in your bag and chuck on whenever. So that's my thoughts on Rose Inc. I'm really excited. I love Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, like I said in the intro, and anything she does is just executed with such elegance and is just so chic and well thought out. So I'm really excited to see what else she launches. Yeah, I do hope that you enjoyed. If there's any products that you really enjoyed from the launch, then do let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!